Broadcasting from the world famous LWDO studios. This is Life with Dan and Lewis.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Lewis.
And we're here to talk about life and all the wonderful, magical, horrible, awful, fantastic stuff inside that four-letter word.
Life.
Before we get too far in, if you hear anything you like today, feel free to go over to buymeacoffee.com/LWDL. Your support is greatly appreciated for this little adventure we are on. Hey, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
How was your week?
It was a pretty good week, I'll say. Busy, but definitely a good week. We had a jury trial this week, which was a retrial of the hung jury case that we had a month or so ago.
Sure. Yeah, we talked about that on here, and I'm at least looking forward to the update.
Yeah, so the first time it ended up with a 5-1. 5 jurors thought that she was guilty. 1 thought that she was not guilty, and he was just steadfast on just not switching over, saying that she was guilty of the charge. Then this time it was unanimous that she was found guilty.
Wow.
Yeah. It was before it was a mixture of before there was one woman on the jury, the rest men, but there was the one juror who said that she was not guilty was a man under the age of 35. So my thing is like, okay, well, she's an attractive, about 6'2", maybe 120, 125 pounds, model type body. The first day of trial, she wore the mini skirt. Second day, she wore some skin tight leather pants. Hey,
Right.
So I'm thinking that maybe I could be wrong, that has something to play with the first time her getting the mistrial.
Sure.
And then this time around, it was 3 women.
Uh-huh.
The youngest was 20. The other 2 were 50 and 75.
Okay.
And then there were 2 men that were both older than 65.
Okay.
So it was
in general older, except for the one outlier, but still.
Yeah. And I think that the 20-year-old was, I mean, I didn't, I'm not an attorney, so I don't talk to the jurors, but with majority of the jurors being older than 60,
yeah,
I think it was kind of easy to influence her to go along with the majority. So, I mean, I say that, but I could necessarily be wrong. But anyway, so she was found guilty. And so, she got sentenced, and that was that. No jail time. It's a misdemeanor case. Majority of the time, it's no jail time.
Right.
So, but yeah, she's on probation, and that was that. It was pretty cool. Of course, the state was happy. The defense side was not happy. Nobody wants to lose a case, but hey, it's 50-50. Somebody has to lose.
Right.
But everybody took it in great stride, and it's the business that we work in. Somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and you just go with it.
And you hope that you do the best you can, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. The only thing that the defendant was a little bit worried about was, so when the sentence is pronounced, it was 180 days in jail, probated by however many months probation. It could be like 12 months, 14 months, 16 months, 24 months, whatever. So the defendant thought that she had to go to jail for 180 days and then start on her probation, which in any instance, it's 180 days probated by, let's just say, 12 months probation.
Sure.
So what happens is the defendant is sentenced to 12 months probation. If they happen to mess up and get a MTR, motion to revoke probation, the court can sentence a person up to 180 days in jail. That's the whole 180 days probated by 12 months or however many months probation.
Right.
So once her defense attorney told her about that, then she was, more at ease with it and everything like that. But I still can tell that she was very upset about the case because, she has some other factors that, the outcome of this case could come against her. But, in all, she made the choice to break the law, and then now this is the consequence. But, hopefully, she learned her lesson, and, she goes on from there, and, and she never has to come through the justice system again.
Right.
But other than that, after that, Thursday we wrapped up with our jury trial. We had regular docket. Then we went over into our mental health docket. Then we had a interview with Marvin Hurst from Ken's Five.
How'd that go?
It
Was it about like the mental health program? What was it about? What was the purpose?
So he was kind of late on this. It was mostly about when I forgot our new Supreme Court justice, her last name, when she got confirmed by the Senate and sworn in.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to do a segment because my judge is part of the including my judges. She's part of the 3 Black female judges that were elected in Bexar County in 2018. And as we have our first Black Supreme Court justice, female Supreme Court justice, they're doing a interview of how what is the impact of having a Black face on the bench, and how having a Black female Supreme Court justice now plays in a role of the life of a Black female judge local in Bexar County. Like, does that inspire her to work harder to maybe achieve more, to like maybe one day be in the running for an office like this? Or like what is the outtake that she gets from seeing a Black female take the Supreme Court as the first female Black justice.
Right.
And so that's what the interview was about. So he's going to go around and interview
okay,
the other judges, and get the other female Black judges, and get their viewpoint about it, and what they can take from seeing her achieve her position in the highest court in the U.S. and go from there. Which I thought it was pretty interesting and everything. So it was about a 45-minute to an hour interview, which went really well. I was impressed and everything. And then so yeah, that was pretty much my week in a nutshell. A lot of stuff going on in between there that I didn't talk about, but definitely busy and everything like that.
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
There you go. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yep.
So how was your week?
It was good. It went by really fast. Like shockingly fast.
This is true.
I felt like it was Monday yesterday, and in both a good way and a bad way. Like it was really busy and really productive. But at the same point, I feel like I didn't get much like time to breathe. Kind of. I don't at the same point, like I don't feel I got a lot done. I did, but I don't know. It was very busy. It was very busy.
I can concur with that.
I feel like I should have gotten more done somewhere, but I just don't know where, because it was like I was constantly busy. But yeah, it was good. Good progress with work stuff. Went and golfed one time. Cleaned the kitchen. Yeah, just good. Just productive all week.
Yeah.
The weather was kind of hot, so I didn't really do too much outside.
Oh yeah.
I think right now I'm sort of into the lull of golf. I think I'm gonna take July and August. Well, August and September. Not off, but just like back off a little bit because it's so hot now.
Yeah, and it's starting to get a lot more humid.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree with that. Walking from the parking garage to the courthouse and having my pants stick to my legs, it's not a great feeling. One, and then two, it's just makes you feel icky.
Right. Like gross.
Yeah. And then so did you you work from home, so it really wouldn't bother you. But so Bexar County is doing a upgrade on their
I saw this though.
HVAC system, and so they're turning off the AC to the whole building starting at 5:00 Friday until sometime Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I am curious to see what it's like Monday when you get there.
I'm not gonna say dread, because we talked about not dreading.
You're aware that it could be challenging first thing Monday morning.
So I'm curious how my office is going to be.
Yeah.
But I do have a fan in my office, so but still, it's just you just gotta breathe and just like, okay, my atmosphere is going to be changed for a little bit, and then just jump in there and just
And, like,
like, go with it.
Really, like, it's not that big of a deal unless it like stinks in there or something. Like,
I have a wall, a plug in my wall, so
Right.
hopefully,
otherwise you'll just be a little warm for a
yeah,
couple hours. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully they can get it to come back on. That'd be a shame if they couldn't get it to fire back up or something.
I'm like, sorry, Judge, I'm going home.
Right.
I'm going to work remotely.
Right.
But other than that, it is what it is. That's something that's not under my control, and just got to roll with the punches
Right.
and just go for it.
You know, I was thinking about this week going fast, and really, I kind of feel like it's been weeks going fast. My bowling league had its 5th week and it's only a 6-week league, so next week's the last week.
Wow,
And
already?
I know exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, already? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
But, yeah. So this week has gone by fast, but I think this summer has kind of gone by fast.
True.
I don't know what that's about, but definitely something I'm feeling.
Yeah, kids go back to school in the next 2 to
Right.
3 weeks, and next, then it's September, and everybody knows once you get to September, then the rest of
It's Christmas.
yeah, exactly. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. I did notice at the grocery store today that they had the fall scents out for like candles and
The wax.
no, Febreze
Oh, okay.
and all that stuff. I walked by, I was like, and I was like, oh no, too early, no.
So remember, I think it was was it last year or the year before? We got the wax melts.
Yeah.
Do they have those out?
I didn't stop though, because I get really annoyed by, like, it's the summer. We should be enjoying summer.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Yeah.
We should be enjoying summer. Stop forcing holidays that are months away upon us so
Right.
early. Let us enjoy one season at a time.
I will say, like, I did get an ad for a company that I like, something like their home good products,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a Halloween little decoration thing that goes on sale August 27th, and I am going to get it because it's like limited edition, and I know it's going to sell out.
Oh, that's funny because
But I feel bad about like August 27th buying a Halloween decoration. That's crazy.
yeah, Alicia already posted up on her Facebook about Halloween,
Yeah.
and then like at first I was just like, okay, well this is just some. Then I thought about it. I was like, we're still in August.
Yeah.
That's that's a couple months away. Like, wow.
Yeah. I don't really think about Halloween until the end of September, and then you're 45 days out or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, over 2 months ahead, almost 3 months ahead, and we're already starting to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't.
It's crazy.
I get to October and I'm just like, man, how much money I'm going to spend until. So in October,
Right.
I have 2 birthdays, my dad and Alicia's. In November, I have my daughter and mine. And then in December, it's your birthday, my youngest nephew, my middle but older sister, Aiden's birthday,
And Christmas.
then Christmas. And then in January, it's my oldest sister, my oldest nephew. So I'm just like, yeah. Like, so October, I start spending money and it doesn't stop
Right.
until.
Constant gifts for 3 months.
And then February is Valentine's. So I really don't stop
Yeah.
spending money until after that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm like,
It's a good point.
and I'm here to take out a loan.
Not for me.
So yeah, I always make fun with like people. I was like, yeah, from October until February, I eat ramen noodle and put water in my gas tank, and hopefully it'll be enough to get me to work because all the rest of my money is going to gifts and other stuff.
Right.
But it's fun. Now if I had a win that
$1 billion.
yeah, the $1 billion, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. We're going to Paris. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I would have said, you know what? Forget this. We're going to Paris for a month or two.
Right.
And just not have a worry and care. But speaking of that, I was reading that the person who won the $1 billion Mega Millions, they did the cash option, which would have gave them like 700 and something million dollars.
Uh-huh.
So they automatically get taxed, and then there's like another tax, and then the state of Illinois taxed them 4.95%, which was another $95 million that went to the state of Illinois for taxes. So they were left with only, well, I'll say only like very lightly because $433 million is still a lot of money.
And just straight up cash. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like people, they look at, okay, well, I could have 1 billion, but I'm only left with 433. But how often are you going to make $433 billion in your lifetime? Like, we're average people. You know, we haven't been born into millions.
Right.
Or billions. So it's just like walking away with $433 million is a hell of a lot of money. A hell of a lot more money than we'll ever see.
Right. Like still, like, okay, so let's say, you know, you live for another 50 years. That's still almost 10 million a year to blow. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I just start thinking about it like different ways you can count that. That's
if I spend $10 million a year, and
that's crazy money.
Yeah, if I spend $10 million a year, it's going to take me 10 years to blow $100 million. But with that being said, the money that you have in your account is making money. So like, even if you spend 10 million, you're still making money off of the interest of the money that you have in the bank. So it's just like, yeah, in my lifetime, I can never.
You'd have to do you have to make some very bad financial decisions.
Yeah.
Totally, it's been done. I mean, so many lottery winners do that, but yeah. And
then, you know, if you take the 20-year option.
Yeah, I think I might have been more inclined to do that on that much money.
$65 million a year for 20 years?
Right.
I mean, $65 million, that's not bad.
Right.
And basically it's a steady paycheck for 20 years.
Right.
And so, you know,
it's like winning the lottery for 20 years in a row.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a hell of a lot. If you have 433 million and you say, I'm going to spend about 10 to 20 million a year just to see if you can blow the 433 before you die. Imagine getting 65 million for 20 years. I mean, on average, we're in our 30s, so we'll be in our 50s, mid 50s.
So then the only goal there is to make sure that you have enough to get the rest of your life. But
yeah,
I mean, some of that you're putting into physical assets, you know, property and real estate and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so you're not blowing that money.
No.
And then you're investing some. So, I mean, either way, it's a crazy amount of money.
True.
No matter how you take it.
Yeah. It definitely is. You know, the very, you know, when the way it's factored out and you look at it, I'm like, you know, either way you go, you know, it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, you definitely can't. You know, it's just either you get a lump sum right up front or you get it spaced out.
Right.
It just depends on how you look at life and how you project that your life will be. So.
Right. What's in your cup?
I am drinking some coconut flavored vodka and an energy drink.
Ooh, that's exotic?
Okay, so coconut flavored vodka mixed with a mango peach energy drink.
So you're having like a tropical little we should get you an umbrella for that drink.
I was just thinking that right when you're talking, I was just like, I need an umbrella for my drink. Yeah, and if I had that and like a little pool with some sand on the side and water and like a palm tree, I can picture myself being on the beach.
Right. That's funny.
What's in your cup?
I am drinking a little bit of scotch. Buchanan's scotch to be exact. It's their master blend. It's pretty good. A friend of mine recommended it. I picked it up and definitely did not get steered wrong in this situation. It's pretty good. I'm liking it. I read a description online about like the tasting notes for it, and it said one of the notes was vaguely like your neighbor's having a campfire. It's like it's not a heavy smoke, but there's like this nice little campfire-esque going on, and that's I definitely think that's a prominent note. And it's nice. It's a nice. There's some notes of vanilla and caramel, a little bit of lemon, and then that campfire. It's nice. It's a nice little scotch. I'm gonna probably try some more of their different blends. They have 4 or 5 different blends, aged and whatnot. Whiskey is sort of my thing, and scotch is sort of a kind of whiskey. So, scotch is not my expertise. No whiskey is my expertise, but scotch is not my typical forte. So I'm learning. I'm learning still about what kind of scotch. I know scotches can be smoky and peaty and other words here that describe scotch. I'm learning what all that means still and trying things out. Because I also know there are some scotches that I do not like.
Yeah.
So now I'm, part of the process. I don't want to buy something and be like, oh, this is one of the ones I don't like. So I'm like learning. I like this, and this is described as these words. So I should find other ones that are described as these words.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like anything, it's like a learning process to figure out what you like exactly.
True. Right now, I am stuck on my Fireball. I am in love with Fireball. I drink it in a mixed drink. I drink it over the rocks. And it's just my my go-to thing right now. Before I would have Dan's more of a liqueur connoisseur than I am. So most of the time, like when I come over, I'll drink whatever he's drinking. And so, but lately, my go-to thing has been Fireball.
Right.
And it's actually, I think Dan was the first person who got me hooked on to Fireball. We had went out to celebrate my birthday one time, and he ordered shots, and I was like, "What's this?" And he was
Christmas
like,
in a cup.
Right. It's Fireball. He was like, so it tastes like those red cinnamon candies that you have during Christmas time.
It tastes like Fireballs?
Yes.
Are you talking about like the gobstopper-y ones or like the little chewy cinnamon ones?
I think the chewy cinnamon ones in the red wrapper.
Oh, no. Okay, in the red wrapper.
They're like about quarter size.
Oh, so sort of like the butterscotch, like grandma candy.
Yes.
But cinnamons instead of butterscotch. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Atomic Fireballs are the ones that are like the gobstopper shape.
Yeah, that's what you're... Yes.
Yeah, the Atomic Fireballs are like burn your mouth hot. Those are just like red hot cinnamon candies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it tastes exactly like Fireball.
It does. Yeah, you're right.
And so, that's my go-to right now, and I'm enjoying it. And I know at some point it's going to end, and I'm gonna move on to something else. But for the time being,
right,
I get Christmas in July,
sure,
and August.
But tonight you opted for Tropical Beach.
Yeah, I did. So it's because it's so damn hot in San Antonio right now that I just want to be on a nice, relaxing beach where the weather's perfect. My feet in the water, some sand, a palm tree with no coconuts in there so they don't fall on my head and knock me out. But
it's a very specific beach scene we're setting.
And no sharks or anything to come and bite my toes off, or no Komodo dragons that would just kill me and eat me whole.
Right. No iguanas.
Yeah. Ooh, those little bastards are nasty. Speaking of iguanas, I was
no crabs.
In more than one place. I was watching while we were in trial, and I was like doing work, and I like to have like videos playing on YouTube in the background, just like background filler noise. And so I came across a video where this is a guy's job because Florida is iguanas are invasive species that are is overpopulating Florida. So this lady had a ranch in Florida, which let me just stop right there. Anybody that says that they have a ranch, so we live in Texas, South Texas.
Yeah.
So when I picture a ranch, I picture dirt, rocks, grass, trees, horses.
Desert prairie. Yeah.
There you go. So when they're like, oh, we're going on this ranch in Florida, I'm just like, there's no horses, there's no cows. It's just 50 acres, fenced off here, fenced off there, got a canal. They're like, oh yeah, watch out for the alligators. And I'm just like,
what the heck kind of ranch is this?
Right? I'm just like, this is not a ranch. This is not. I'm so used to. I'm not born in Texas, but I've been in Texas since '96.
Right.
For 20 plus years. So I've gotten accustomed and used to the Texas lifestyle. So like anytime somebody says I have a ranch, I automatically picture a Texas ranch, not
right.
So so she had, the lady said that when they were babies, she used to feed them. So when the guy was like shooting them with a air pellet gun, she was like crying. She was like, these are my babies. But then she was just like, well, yeah, she cried for a little bit, and she was just like, her friend was there. It was like, well, the iguanas used to eat the baby ducks.
Oh.
And then so she rescued 5 baby ducks because the iguana killed the mother. And then so she was just like, well, it's part of the circle of life,
right?
So
they're trying to like clean up the iguana population so they can keep these ducks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're severely damaging the ecosystem,
right?
And so, but it's just crazy how they're sniping these iguanas and they're just falling from the trees. But these iguanas there were so many. It's almost like having a flock of birds in your tree. That's how many iguanas were like in one palm tree.
Wow.
And I'm just like, this is.
So they have to kill some of them to get under control.
Yeah, they do.
Wow, that's crazy.
And that's the same thing with the invasive species of pythons in Florida.
Yeah.
Now they have a show about people going around catching pythons, killing them because they're just, the Everglades are being overrun.
Right.
They're either messing up the ecosystem, and everything like that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Florida's just
Florida's a wild place.
Yeah, definitely. The Everglades are nobody's friend, but when you think about Florida, like, you have people coming from Cuba and, Haiti and all those different places. And it's, like they said, like people, it's an easy place to buy things off of the black market and have it smuggled into the country.
Okay.
And, it just comes right in through there.
Right.
And so that's why they have all these, then, you have people who talk about like neighbors who get like these, 10-foot pythons, in their house because somebody had it as a pet, bought it off the black market, couldn't take care of it, let it go, and then boom, now it's in their house.
And it's comfortable around people and
yeah,
in houses and on,
It may be comfortable around some people, but hey, in my house, I'm gonna get some guns.
It ain't gonna be comfortable.
Hell no.
Right.
And that's the same thing as the snakehead fish.
Yeah.
It's an invasive species that's taken over the canals and the water systems in Florida.
Right. I was thinking it's like the zebra mussel here in the lakes and stuff where they start growing on boats and stuff.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, there's nothing that can live in the water because they've depleted all the nutrients.
True.
Yeah. It's crazy. Invasive species are so interesting and crazy.
Yeah. Because it was like about 2 or 3 years ago, they were telling people in Austin and in Canyon Lake area, when you bring your boats in to lower them, to bring them out of the water, because then everything that's on them will die. But somebody didn't, and then now the waterways are slowly starting to have a more and more influx of these zebra
mussels are the ones I was thinking of. Yeah, but there's fish species too that are invasive around here.
Like which ones?
I'm trying to remember what the whole story was. It might have been some kind of a gar or something. I forget now.
And then there was one story about because Nevada is going through a drought right now, severe drought. They're going to start pumping water from the Mississippi over there.
Wow.
And then scientists were like, well, one, you're going to throw off the ecosystem of the states that the Mississippi run through.
Right.
And then two, you're going to throw off the ecosystem of the states that this waterway is going to go through. And then plus you're going to throw off the ecosystem of Nevada.
Right.
It's just like, Nevada has no alligators. Then now you wake up and there's like alligator population.
There was something else about the water being so low in that area that there was a certain area that hadn't had whatever the competitor fish was, right? So it was like almost like a sanctuary for this other fish.
Mm-hmm.
But then the water dropped so low that I'll call it the bad fish, got through and was able to get into where this other fish was. So that whole ecosystem is just like so messed up, not only by, the water being super low, but by species being moved around.
Yeah.
Because the water's so low.
True. Speaking of, Lake Mead is which, the water is so low that they found I think they just found their fourth body, that's been on the water for, God knows how long.
Barrels, cars, bodies, boats, planes, helicopters. Yeah. All kinds of crazy stuff they've been finding.
It's crazy.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
And so they were saying, if Lake Mead falls underneath 895,000 feet, then they cannot no longer generate power. So Steve and I were looking at it this week. They're at about No, I'm sorry. It was 895 feet. They're at about 1,025 feet.
Okay.
So they're not that far off from like
Right.
the, not being able to draw power
Oh,
from.
okay. So then they can't generate power. That's like the largest power supply
Yeah.
in that area.
It when it's at full operation, it can power, I think it's about 700,000 homes.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
Yes, I wonder what that looks like on whatever grid they're on. If that just doesn't power, how long can that be supported? Are there
yeah.
other implications? That's crazy. I didn't think about that.
And so I was thinking to myself, I was like, why don't they just build a big solar farm?
Yeah, I wonder if solar has gotten good enough now that could be a replacement.
Because, one, it's going to give people jobs because somebody has to go and clean the lenses,
Yeah.
at least twice a month, and, the maintenance of
Right.
it and all. And then plus, Nevada's a desert too,
Right.
know,
Lots of sun.
so build a solar farm.
Right.
I mean, it'll cut down on,
Reliance on fossil fuels and all that.
yeah, exactly. So in a situation like this, when there's a severe drought,
Right.
you have, or do a combination of both. Do the solar farm and also,
I like that idea.
the power from the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so if the water level drops, then you just rely back on your solar
Right.
energy. We're always going to have sun,
Right.
and then, just go from there.
Right. It's a good point. I wonder if they will come up with creative solutions for the lowering water levels in that area of the country.
I think I first started thinking about this when I was first interested in Dubai and how, over the last 10 years, they have become the, the country that they are to this day. And I was just like, if I was them, I would have built like a solar farm in the desert and just had all that power. Like,
I think only recently though has solar gotten to the point where like that kind of stuff is feasible.
Yeah.
Like the efficiency is now like decent enough.
So was it like before it was just too expensive, or
the efficiency you got out of it? It's like bang for your buck. You just weren't able to capture very much energy. But the actual technology behind converting sunlight to energy has gotten so much better, even in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I think now it's starting to be more feasible to build solar farms, especially in like desert areas and whatnot.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. We'll see where, solar takes us within the next.
Yeah, I think that is the future for a lot of things. Solar, and then I think wind and ocean, like the generators that use the ocean waves and the tidal waves.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are sort of something that the future needs to look at too, because that's like something that's not going to stop.
Yeah.
So why not figure out a way to like really harness that?
What do you think about, since we brought in the ocean? What do you think about how they do on these naval ships where they convert the ocean water into drinkable water? What if we do that?
Yeah.
And like, let's say cities that are coastal cities.
They do that. Yep. There are desalination plants.
So
convert.
What do you think about if we do it on a large scale where we bring it into like inner cities?
It's not energy efficient.
No, well, like
it takes too much. It takes too much energy to do that on any kind of a large scale.
Because
they do that on a lot of boats.
Yeah,
almost every like houseboat that you can live on has a water maker now.
Okay,
they're pretty commonplace, and there are desalination plants. I think Egypt, one of the countries, Middle East, Northern Africa, gets all their water supply from desalination. Makes
sense.
Yeah,
they can't go wrong.
Yeah, they don't have like a fresh water source really.
No,
so they do that all. It's one of those countries in that area.
It would be good if some of the other countries in Africa that are on the severe poor side, that are coastal countries that could be able to do the same thing, but then it's just so expensive to run, and if they already don't have the money, then or maybe the dictator of that country can stop taking other people's money and actually do something good.
That's more of a problem too.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Here we are trying to say
Yeah.
fix the world's problem.
Solve the world problems with Dan and Lewis.
Yeah, right? There you go.
We have a couple friends we'd like you to check out. The first one is Remoting Blog. Remote working, remoting. Follow along on a journey of a new job, a new facility, new coworkers, and a new normal. Remote working, remoting. Inspired by real life, enhanced by imagination. Follow along at remotingblog.com.
Remoting blog.
Another friend of ours is GFDF Eating. Eating gluten and dairy-free can be challenging. GFDF Eating aims to show all the delicious food you can make and buy without sacrificing taste, diversity, or quality. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at GFDF Eating.
That's it. GFDF eating.
We'd like to hear from you. After all, we are doing this for your entertainment. Drop us a note and let us know where you're listening from, or if you have any ideas for new segments, things you'd like us to stop doing, do more of, less of, or anything at all, email us at lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
That's lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
One thing I wanted to talk about real quick, and we'll hit it at the end, too, is that we have a YouTube channel up now. So we don't have any video on there per se, but we have our podcast episodes are available for your listening pleasure on that platform as well. Yay! Wow. Yeah, hopefully someday we'll get some video going here too. But yeah, I took time to get that channel set up. Not exactly the easiest thing to do, but got through it this week. And we actually got our first copyright strike. And then we got it removed. It was by the licensing we have for our music and sound effects.
Oh,
On the website for that, you have to link your YouTube channel. And I didn't know that. So as soon as we put it up there, the auto censor detected, hey, this is copyrighted by this person. And I was like, yeah, we have a license. And like right in the FAQ for on YouTube, it was like, did you enter your license on? I was like, oh man. So I went and entered that, and it was gone right away. So no copyright strikes. We're all in the clear now. With 2 episodes published, this will be the 3rd episode to go up.
Yay!
But I guess if you're listening now, you're probably not listening on YouTube. Maybe you will in the future.
That's true.
Or you are listening on YouTube, and this is a very weird comment that you're just finding out that we just started this YouTube thing. But you're an early adopter, and you're already there listening.
Yeah.
Either way, we appreciate you. And if you know anyone that would like to listen, now they can listen anywhere podcasts are found and on YouTube.
There you go.
Hey, so we don't have much more to talk about today, but one thing I did want to talk about is the return of Live PD. Live PD, for those of you that don't know, was a show that was on a few years back, and it was sort of like Cops, but you guessed it, live. And it was a fantastic show. It showed so much more real-world policing, because they followed, a handful of departments, up to 10 or 12 departments a night, live, so you got to see all the regular everyday stuff they went through along with the exciting stuff.
True.
And it was just a great way to show how much of a police officer's job is customer service.
True.
It's not just crime fighting and superheroing. There's a lot of BS and dealing with people that are on various substances.
True.
or off various substances, either way. And I think it really gave a fair shake at what a police officer's regular day-to-day is on the job. Unfortunately, they got caught up in a little bit of a scandal and they went off the air. And they're back as On Patrol Live on the Reels channel, which is a little bit hard to find, but you can find it out there. There are ways to get it. So we've been watching that around doing our podcast, and I've been enjoying it. I missed it, and I'm happy to have it back.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. We were watching a little bit of it before we got into this podcast, and officer pulls up on a scene at a gas station. A lady has warrants. He confronts her, and she takes off running, and she crosses the street, And
he attempted to taser and missed with the taser.
Yeah. And so a citizen was, I gather, watching part of, the scene where she's running away from him and like whips around, she's running through a parking lot, pulls in front of her. She
sort of cuts her off, like kind of abruptly. She sort of runs into the side of the van and then he just pulls off.
Yeah, exactly. Like she hits the side, bounces off onto the ground. The cop gets on top of her, and then he just, makes a U-turn and just pulls out of the parking lot and goes on about his day.
It was the greatest assist ever from a silent citizen observer.
Right? And he didn't, most people want to stay behind and
Nope, he just did a U-turn, got out of there and went on his way.
Yep, I probably would have did the same.
Yeah.
It's just like, why stay back? Like,
right.
Why so they can,
and, by no means are we saying get involved in any police chase you see, but right place, right time, and he was able to lend a helping fender.
Yeah. Because with being in a moving vehicle, it's always iffy.
Right.
Would you hit them? Would they get caught underneath your car? Or in his instance, he cut her off. But
it was almost like textbook perfect.
Yeah, he cut her off in time enough to where his car's at a full stop. So that way, if she did hit his car and fell,
no damage, no danger.
Yeah, there was no danger. There was no danger of him running over her or anything like that. So, if she was smart and quick enough, she probably could have dodged the front part of the car. I don't
think she was in any kind of a state to be dodging.
Nah.
She could barely run.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, that show is just, it's great.
It's awesome. You guys definitely have to check it out.
If you're not watching it, you should be watching it, and we should be getting them as many viewers as possible so that they can get back on a regular channel and off of such a difficult channel to find.
But in the meantime, you can check it.
In the meantime,
you can check it out on Reels.
Yep.
REELZ.
Yeah.
Reels.
And there are some subscription-based services that you can get them on. One of them is Select TV. That's what we're using to watch it.
Yes.
It's a little bit clunky, but it does the job, and it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
So
check it out.
Definitely give it a watch.
Bring them back.
Bring them back. Bring them back. Bring them back.
Bring them back. That was our protest right there for 2 seconds.
Sure. Anything coming up for you this week?
This week, what is coming up in the life of Louis Booker? Well, coming up this week, it's just looking forward to court, taking the kid back to school, shopping coming up tomorrow, and doing some other stuff. Church, Sunday, probably going to get into some church. Monday through Friday, back to the work life and making a difference in these citizens of Bexar County through County Court 12. And we'll be right back here next weekend, giving you guys some entertainment. So what's on your schedule?
Yeah, I think it's about the same. The same with work. Hopefully get out to the golf course a couple times. This weekend, we're going to do some, you and I both are going to do some work tomorrow on one of our side gigs. So that should be good. And I'm sure we'll have some relaxation time as well tomorrow.
True.
And Sunday, do some kind of a church thing of some sort. I'm not going to a church right now, but I try to watch something on YouTube or read something or do something churchly.
Sure.
And then I do try to relax Sunday. I don't try to do any work. So I just try to take it easy and have a day of rest and observance.
Yeah, so we got a letter from our apartment. Our pool was out of commission for about a month or so, but they're getting everything back together and look forward to next weekend.
Yeah.
The pool being open, so we might have to do some type of pool day.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time.
Yeah. It's always good to hang out with family and friends, or friends that become family and family that become friends.
Definitely. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. It's the right time of year for that, and I think it's a long overdue pool day.
Yeah. Kick off the kids, get ready to go back to school. Let's do it with a bang and and go from there.
Well, until then, remember to check us out on all the social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Life with Dan and Lewis.
That's At Life with Dan and Lewis.
Thanks for listening today. More episodes can be found anywhere podcasts are found and on YouTube or on our website at lwdl.buzzsprout.com.
lwdl.buzzsprout.com. Come looking for us.
Until next time, ask yourself, what have you done to help someone else? Make good choices.
And love one another.